From South America to South Elgin, police bust an international human trafficking ring spanning several Chicago suburbs. But an expert says there's a chance the suspects won't be sent to prison.
A lot of the times when you see arrests for trafficking, oftentimes they won't yield convictions.
Neighbors taking back their community one prayer at a time while they're worshiping in the streets.
And breaking news, a body found outside the Kenosha County Courthouse. We're live at the scene. Let's get right to that breaking news. A large police presence in Kenosha tonight after a body was found steps from the Kenosha County Courthouse.
CBS 2's Jermont Terry is live in Kenosha. And Jermont, this happened while police were moving a prisoner to the county jail.
That's right, Eric and Joe. And just 5 minutes ago, police cleared the scene, towing away that vehicle, police cruiser, where all of this centered around. Now, here's what we know. Pleasant Prairie police are in the process of moving an inmate from the county courthouse to the jail when something terrible went wrong. Now, the view from Chopper 2 shows investigators focusing their attention around a black police cruiser. It's believed the inmate was in that vehicle or getting placed in the back seat when somehow the inmate was able to get a hold of a gun. Now, this is where the investigators here in Wisconsin are not elaborating, but at least one shot went off, and when the gunfire stopped, the inmate was dead steps from the courthouse. As I mentioned, this investigation, it continues until this 10 o'clock hour, and this shooting happened right in the heart of downtown Kenosha, which is pretty busy and was when that shot went off. Investigators do tell us the jail went into a lockdown briefly as a precaution, but what they have not clarified in this 10 o'clock hour is, one, how did the inmate get a hold of the gun? Two, was the inmate in handcuffs? And finally, who fired the shot killing the inmate? All questions detectives from Racine County, an outside agency, will try to get to the bottom of in the coming days. Now, we have no indication that any officers or deputies were injured when this incident took place, but the looming question tonight, where did that gun come from, and was there any type of struggle? All questions we do not have at this hour, but investigators are working to get to the bottom of. For now, reporting live with breaking news in Kenosha, I'm Jermont Terry, CBS 2 News.
Sounds like a lot of questions still tonight. Jermont, thank you.
Now to an international human trafficking ring busted in Kane County. 5 people are now charged with multiple felonies. 2 of the suspects are brothers.
CBS 2's Marissa Perlman live in the control room tonight digging into this investigation. Marissa?
Well, Joe and Erica, 10 women have been taken into protective custody and moved to transitional housing. Police now say they are expecting more victims and even more suspects to come forward.
And it was like an onion. The more we peeled it back, the more it stunk.
St. Charles police launching a sex trafficking investigation in early spring after they say they found a brothel operating on the near west side of the city.
Women were brought into the United States for the sole purposes of being victimized and exploited.
10 women total in their early 20s and 30s lured from South America to the U.S. for the sole purpose of prostitution. The investigation revealing it was all part of a larger criminal enterprise, also operating out of apartments in Chicago, Aurora, Elgin, South Elgin, Hanover Park, and Palatine.
This is extremely widespread, and when we find this out, we see how connected it is to other jurisdictions.
4 men and 1 woman were arrested. Investigators say they ran their operation through word of mouth and found business cards circulating in underground communities advertising the women. All 5 slapped with multiple felonies, though charges may be hard to prove.
These crimes are very difficult to land convictions. We're talking about modern slavery here.
Dr. Kimberly Melman Orozco, human trafficking expert and author, says to convict a trafficking charge, prosecutors will have to track the money and prove it was kept from the victims.
In order for it to be considered trafficking for adults, you have to, it can't just be commercial sex. It has to also, you have to also have elements of force, fraud, coercion, deception, or threat.
And show how much of these victims' lives were controlled and why they couldn't escape.
Sometimes it's even threats that if you go to law enforcement, we're going to harm you or your family or your friends.
Police say it's still not clear exactly how long these crimes were going on. All 5 of these suspects are now being held on $5 million bond. In the control room, Marissa Perlman, CBS 2 News.
Marissa, thank you.
A former youth volleyball coach in McHenry County is accused of trying to solicit sex with a girl under the age of 14. Investigators say 44-year-old Philip Bromley was talking with an undercover detective online, thinking it was the girl, and tried to meet up for a sexual encounter. Lake County investigators were there to arrest him. Authorities are encouraging anyone who may be a victim of Bromley to contact police and file a report.
There are new details tonight in this deadly shooting last month at the Scene 75 Entertainment Center in suburban Romeoville. Tonight, Romeoville police announced they arrested a 16-year-old boy in Chicago with the help of the U.S. Marshals Service Great Lakes Regional Fugitive Task Force. The teen is now facing first-degree murder charges and is being held on a $5 million bond. He's also facing a charge of aggravated battery with a firearm. A 19-year-old Chicago man was killed in that June 24th shooting. One other person was injured. A man's been charged with shooting at an ambulance in Logan Square. Police say around 9:30 last night, 39-year-old Ricardo Vasquez got out of his car and walked up to an ambulance on Hamlin and Wrightwood. He yelled at first responders to move out of his way. He then fired several shots before driving off. You can see at least 3 bullet holes in the back door of the ambulance. No one was hurt.
One Chicago neighborhood is fighting back against crime this summer by literally taking back the streets.
A church in the city's Little Village neighborhood is holding street masses every Tuesday and Thursday night to pray for peace. CBS 2's Maribel Gonzalez live with the story for us tonight. Maribel?
Yeah, Eric and Joe, they're using their faith to combat crime. Now, this is something that the local Catholic Church, St. Agnes of Bohemia Parish, has been doing for more than 20 years. But they say that it's now more than ever when this community needs their healing.
1, 2, 3, probando.
It looks like the setup for a block party. Oops. And it very much looks like one. But this reunion is a block mass, a service just like one you would see inside a Catholic church. But this time, the streets of the Little Village neighborhood serve as the pews and the altar.
The purpose of the masses, the block mass as they call it, is to pray together as a community for peace and justice.
A community residents say is riddled with violence. During this mass, police placing someone in handcuffs on the same corner where parishioners kneeled in prayer for peace. Police lights flashing in the background as the sermon of Father Franco echoed among the neighborhood.
Esta violencia es algo que nos tiene consternados.
Parishioner Carmen Lopez says the ongoing crime has people here worried. She hopes masses like these offer a glimmer of hope in the search for peace and tranquility.
With it causing so much impact, especially for those neighbors who probably are not Catholics or who don't even have any kind of faith, but they are saying like, what is these people doing outside?
A popular tradition in Mexico and Latin America, Father Franco says these masses also offer a chance for people to meet their neighbors.
And they want like to celebrate together their faith in public.
And hope that by doing so, they can create a tighter sense of community.
We need peace in our neighborhood. First, we need peace in our heart. Amen.
Now, these block masses will be held through August, and they're inviting everyone to attend regardless of their faith. Reporting live in Little Village, Maribel Gonzalez, CBS 2 News.
All right, Maribel, thank you. Well, now to First Alert weather with meteorologist Mary Kay Kleist.
Mary Kay tracking some weekend storms.
And first, we get a brilliant Friday because we have this first front push through, taking away the humidity. Now it's dry, breezy conditions that are locked across our region. Lows tonight. Here's what you expect when you step outside tomorrow morning. 56 in DeKalb, 59 in Morris, 64 in Gary, and 65 in the Loop. So tomorrow, lots of sunshine. A northeasterly wind component, though, will keep things cooler along the lakefront. So even though we'll be at about 80 degrees on average, let's plan for middle 70s lakeside. And then, as you mentioned, storm chances coming this weekend. I'll time that out just ahead.
Thank you, Mary Kay.
A CBS 2 exclusive now. A Northwestern cheerleader is speaking out more than 2 years after filing a federal lawsuit. In it, she claims members of the university and athletic department turned a blind eye to her complaints of sexual harassment.
It comes as the fallout from the football team's hazing scandal grows. Hayden Richardson says she and the other cheerleaders were treated as sex objects and were subjected to constant groping and sexualized comments from alumni and football fans. She says she complained to her coach, who then told her to get evidence. But when Richardson got statements from other teammates saying the same thing, she says she was accused of fabricating evidence. After seeing the headlines of hazing and sexual abuse within the school's football team, Richardson says she's disappointed but not surprised.
Seeing people in these senior leadership roles say, oh, I had no idea. There's no way you didn't know. These athletes look up to you. They tell you everything. You at minimum are going to hear whispers because these things don't happen quietly.
Richardson's case is ongoing. We reached out to Northwestern about her claims and are still waiting for a response.
SAG-AFTRA's ongoing labor dispute took center stage with a walk and rally downtown in support of the actors.
Get up, get down.
About 120 people gathered here in front of Buckingham Fountain with one goal: to make their voices heard when it comes to what they call fair pay. Many of the actors here say they are in the middle to lower class when it comes to their wages, and that is what this strike is all about.
We should be able to enjoy what we do without worrying about going in, working, and then still having to work a regular job. A lot of your favorite series regulars are working on set every day and then working as a busser or a waiter during the day.
The Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers tells CBS 2 the deal SAG-AFTRA walked away from was worth more than $1 billion in wage increases, pension and health contributions, and residual increases over 3 years.
Next, on the CBS 2 News at 10, a police officer springs into action to help save a boy who nearly drowned.
The lessons police want everyone to learn from this video.
Then, the Long Island serial killer investigation expands. The suspect's possible connections to murders in several other states.
And a major movie theater chain hits rewind on a controversial plan to charge more for premium seats.
We're back in 90.
Tonight. Breaking news from Phoenix, Arizona now. Take a look at this. Fire shooting into the air at a propane business near Sky Harbor International Airport. City officials say several propane gas tanks exploded. No one was hurt. The airport says so far flights have not been impacted.
Tonight, police are looking at unsolved murders in other states, possibly linked to accused New York serial killer Rex Heuermann. Investigators also say they believe Heuermann may have killed at least one victim at his Long Island home. Right now, he's charged with the murders of 3 women and is the prime suspect in a 4th woman's death. Their bodies were found within a quarter mile of each other in 2010. Prosecutors have data from 7 burner phones used to contact victims and say the 59-year-old did more than 200 searches about the investigation.
New details tonight about the Las Vegas area house searched in connection with the death of rapper Tupac Shakur. Police records, or public records rather, show the house belongs to the wife of Dwayne Davis. Davis is the uncle of Orlando Anderson, who was a suspect shortly after the fatal shooting of Shakur 27 years ago. Back in 2018, Davis said he was in the front seat of Anderson's vehicle when the fatal shots were fired, adding the street code of silence kept him from naming the killer. Police in Las Vegas took several items, including tablets, computers, hard drives, and photographs.
A toddler in a Detroit suburb is recovering tonight after an officer jumped into action to save him from drowning. We want to warn you, you might find this video difficult to watch.
Oh, he's breathing. He's breathing.
We got him breathing.
Wow. You are watching a Sterling Heights police officer saving his life. Police say the child was enjoying a pool party with his family when he was spotted limp in the water. His mom and dad began giving their son CPR until the officer came to the scene, giving the boy life-saving back blows. The boy was rushed to the hospital, and tonight he is back with his family. Police say everyone should take this as a warning to learn CPR and also keep an eye on children in the water.
Oh, that is just chilling.
Oh, it is.
So our next story here showcases dance as a form of healing and fun for people with Parkinson's disease.
Photojournalist Lana Hinshaw-Clan spoke with the Joffrey Ballet's Carly Legal about its partnership with Northwestern Medicine.
This program is called Dancing with Parkinson's.
bringing dance to people who don't think that they can dance. We'll spend the first half of class seated in chairs. Minnie, Carly.
It's exciting, it's fun. I've told all my friends I was going to do this, and they asked if I was going to wear a tutu.
Up and drop.
They don't make them that big.
And we stretch and close. Stretch and close.
Never having been disabled before in my life. And I like to think of myself as being able.
And halfway through class, all the participants will have the option to stand. Use all 4 pliés, no matter if you've never danced before.
No, I haven't.
Your first time coming back to dancing in a while.
I live in Sun City.
It feels like home when you come back to it.
They had a tap dance group called the Hunks.
Now sweep those arms up and high.
When was your diagnosis?
That was 12 years ago.
I think it's been 4 years.
It was cognitive things I was missing.
Sitting up nice and tall.
I had a hard time following directions and dates.
Roll to the right.
Doing something that helps us as far as memory, balance, muscle activity.
We're in a community of disabled,
You can softly open your eyes here.
but able to.
Good. Let's do this for 5, 4.
Doing an activity right.
Let's stop. And stop.
Followed the instructions and got it done right. It makes me feel good, yes.
Movements feel wonderful.
This is actually one of my favorite classes to teach. Big shoulder roll. Because people are coming here just for their love of dance and to learn something new. Yeah, nice.
Looking good. Scientific research has backed this 5-week program.
Mary Kay's back now with First Alert Weather, and we're about to plie into the weekend.
Yes, we are. Lots of plans, I bet, right?
We do. How's it
I
look?
want to see you do that. Joe.
I know, right? You snapping along.
Over here. Yeah.
Could you feel the difference from breakfast to dinner? Breakfast, it was so steamy if you stepped outside, and now we have drier air in place. In fact, dew point temperatures this morning were in the lower 70s. Right now, we have a dew point reading of 57. That just tells you super dry air is in place. And northwest winds at 9 keep reinforcing that dry air mass. 74 very comfortable degrees. So what we expect is a lot of sunshine tomorrow. It will be the coolest day of the next 10 days, and it will be less humid than today, so very comfortable. But those winds out of the north during the day that's going to build the wave and the rip current risk at the Indiana beaches, so do keep that in mind. And the weekend, we have thunder chances at times. First chance coming after lunch on Saturday. So we see that old front from today leaning for the eastern seaboard, creating all kinds of problems here for the northeast with severe weather. We have that dry northwesterly wind flow taking over, so things are super quiet. But waves building 3 to 6 feet. So right now through tomorrow at 4 o'clock, you're encouraged to stay out of the water. When waves are high, stay dry because of the rip current risk that is out there. Hour by hour tonight, it's just a fair sky, middle 60s for overnight lows. Tomorrow, here's the picture. Just a few fair weather clouds around, and temperatures will be in the 70s much of the day. In most places, I think we'll touch that 80-degree mark for the official high, but probably hold mid-70s if you're commuting to the Loop or if you're going to be out at the area near the water. And then on Saturday, some of the models are trying to bring in morning rain. I do think the dry air will still be in place, but after lunch, I think all the levels of the atmosphere will moisten up enough that we'll start to see those showers and storms pop. This is 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so it's really an afternoon event, and it's about a 30% chance of showers and storms for Saturday. It goes up a little bit on Sunday, and 86 will be the high by that time. But notice, both days will feature a west wind, so it's tomorrow when we will see those temperatures cooler at the lakefront, cooler in northwest Indiana. But then as we step into the weekend, it gets a little warmer around town. We'll see about 81 downtown, and then the mid-80s will be the story for Sunday. And on Sunday, there's that 40% chance that we'll see showers and thunderstorms. That wave leaves us early Monday morning. Then we turn up the temperature. Actually, heat, humidity, all of that will be building. We're going to string together several days of 90-degree heat. Why don't you give a peek at this? This is the 10-day trend. So plan next week. We're going to be talking about heat index values in the upper 90s probably, because the humidity will be coming back. So if you like it cool and kind of less humid, I see you. I knew I'd have a few. Yeah, tonight, tomorrow, that's your time, because then as the weekend goes on, those humidity levels creep back at you.
Thanks, Mary Kay.
Well, a tense matchup for our Cubs, Marshall.
Yeah, they were trying to get hot like the weather, but unfortunately sometimes you run into a team that's just a little bit hotter. The Cubs, a chance to continue that hot hitting with their biggest rival in town, but a comedy of errors for the home team as they ran into a squad that all of a sudden is the hottest team in baseball.
Weather on CBS 2 is brought to you by Four Seasons. Your time.
Cubs looking for a third straight win, and that would have been promising a week ago with the then last place Cardinals on the schedule. But the Cubs now running into these Cards on a season-high 5-game winning streak. David Ross watched his team score 25 runs over the last 2 games, but the Cards jump out to a 5-0 lead. Bottom fourth, Cubs finally getting on the board. Yan Gomes slicing one to right. Jordan Walker trying to make the shoestring catch, but he gets by him. That's an RBI triple, one of 2 Gomes triples on the night. Next half inning, though, Paul DeJong, the answer. A 2-run bomb to make it 7-1. The Cards have now won 6 in a row after a 7-2 win. Sox trying to patch things up and avoid getting swept by the Mets. Michael Kopech allows just 2 hits over 5 2/3. He strikes out Brandon Nimmo here, one of his 5 Ks. Top 6, Sox already up 5-1. Elvis Andrus, opposite field shot to right. Jeff McNeil, you probably just should have stayed on your feet. Andrews, an RBI triple. The Sox win it 6-2. They avoid the sweep. Next up, 3 at the division-leading Twins. Sky back from the All-Star break, trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. Suggs Sutton, though, she's just trying to play some defense. Gets the steal from Morgan Birch, and she'll go all the way to the other end for the layup. 19-5 Mercury out of the gate. The Sky down by as many as 16 in this one. Kalia Copper trying to lead a comeback. Knocks down the long J late in the second quarter to get the Sky within 10. Mercury now leading this one 50-37 in the third quarter. First round of the 151st Open Championship. Rory McIlroy stuck in the bunker on 18, and, well, he's still stuck in the bunker. He'd actually par that hole to finish the day even, though, and at the top of the leaderboard, amateur Christo Lamprecht. No issues for him on 18. He shares the lead with 2 others at 5 under. A group of visually impaired teens from Spectrios Institute's Grandma Martil's Low Vision Summer Camp having a day on the south side. The Sox hosting 8 kids, complete with an on-the-field tour of the ballpark, including batting practice, running the bases. This tour gives these teens a better literal feel for the game.
It's really cool that people like me are visually impaired, and I can collect numbers and enjoy time with people who have the same kind of thing as I do.
So excited, and it's made just. They feel so special. One girl said, she goes, I feel like I'm in a dream and I'm going to wake up tomorrow and it's not going to have happened. I'm like, no. I said, we have the pictures to prove it.
This all carrying on the legacy of the late Martil Reinsdorf's work with children during her lifetime through her Seeing is Believing program.
It's great to see them soaking up every aspect, touching the grass on the field. You know?
All the senses, and they're using the ones that they use well, and they're getting a true feel for the game.
A great opportunity.
Well, a theater chain drops its controversial plan to charge more money for its best seats. What changed their minds?
And weeks after Taylor Swift took Chicago by storm, local businesses prepare for the next boost in sales from another music superstar.
And tonight on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, the hosts of CBS Mornings.
Sponsored locally by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs.
Someone in California is having a very good night. The winning Powerball ticket worth $1.08 billion was sold at this mini mart in Los Angeles. It's the only ticket to match all 5 numbers and the Powerball number. The winner has not been identified, but the store's owner, a father of 4, is expected to also get a Powerball payout of about $1 million.
What will $1 million mean for you and your family?
I have to give you a vacation, something like that.
A little something like that. The largest Powerball jackpot ever was about $2 billion in a drawing last November. And here in Elmhurst, no $1 billion Powerball jackpot win, but someone did purchase a winning $1 million ticket here.
Say hey, Miss Carter.
Queen Bee's coming to town. Beyonce's Renaissance Tour stopping by Soldier Field Saturday and Sunday. And already a lot of local business owners say they are seeing a major boost.
Our total number of appointments is about 50% higher than it was. Taylor Swift just showed us how much live concerts have become a whole new genre.
According to data from Yelp, during Beyonce's tour stop in Philadelphia, search traffic for nail salons soared nearly 200%, and hairstylist searches spiked 73%.
A major theater chain is rolling back plans to charge more for good seats. AMC Theaters is ending its Sightline tiered seat pricing pilot program. Under the plan, moviegoers who sat directly next to the screen at the front paid less for a ticket, and people who sat further back in the more desirable seats paid more. AMC says they found people still didn't want to sit in the front of the theater, so moving forward, they're testing more spacious front rows with reclining seats. We'll be right back.
Here's a crazy story. This woman thought she was signing a contract to sell her home, but she was actually signing on to a 40-year nightmare. The company doesn't even have to help her sell her home, but if she sells at any point in the next 40 years, they get a cut of the money. And she can't even get out of it if she dies. That's right, not even death is an escape. We told you it was crazy. We'll sort it all out Friday night on CBS 2 News at 10.
Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers.
Police officers went below and beyond in Champaign to save a family of ducks. You can see a University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign officer going into the sewers there to save ducklings who fell into a storm drain while crossing the street. All the ducks and the officers made it out safely.
Anything sewer related is definitely brave.
That is.
I couldn't do it.
100%.
And the ducks always seem to find those things, don't they?
Yeah. Well, bravo. All right.
Indeed.
Okay. How's the weather?
Okay, nice and bright for us tomorrow. Less humid. It'll be the coolest day of the next 10. We will feature a high of about 80 degrees, but a northeast wind at 5 to 10. That'll keep shorefront temperatures probably in the middle 70s. So below average, but nice and bright. A couple storms Saturday afternoon, but tomorrow, fantastic Friday.
Great. Thank you, Mary Kay.
That's it for the CBS 2 News at 10. I'm Joe Donlin.
And I'm Erica Sargent. Have a great night. Colbert starts right now.